A town of 30,000 people, Laplace sits in the shadows of major oil and gas plants. With one of the highest cancer rates per capita among the people living here, it's earned the name Cancer Alley.
The people of St. John, they live this every day.
And for years, people living here have questioned what's making them, their family, and friends so sick.
Everybody has something.
In 2015, scientists looked to the air. They found chloroprene, an element the EPA has labeled a likely carcinogen. For years, people had been breathing something they couldn't even see.
They've been exposed to it for 49 years. That's an awful long time.
Chloroprene is a chemical used to make neoprene rubber, a substance used in everything from wetsuits to car parts. And the only plant in the United States that produces it, the Denka plant, situated in the middle of Laplace.
All the stories that the citizens have are acute impacts, short-term impacts, and chronic impacts that actually match all the data we have on chloroprene.
In 2015, the EPA published a report of the link between chloroprene and cancer. In response, last year, Denka said it had spent more than $30 million to reduce chloroprene emissions and finished installing 4 major pieces of equipment and other projects to reduce emissions. But Wilma Subra, the technician with the Louisiana Environmental Action Network, studies the numbers every 2 weeks and discusses her findings with concerned citizens.
And if it was happening in your house, wouldn't you want to know what's going on? Ignorance is not bliss in this case.
In 2016, the EPA placed 6 monitoring stations around Denka to record chloroprene levels in the air. 2 were placed at schools, Fifth Ward Elementary and East St. John High School. Subra says the average chloroprene concentration varies because of plant production, wind direction, and other variables that change daily. She says when examining the highest chloroprene concentrations per year, the numbers have trended downwards, but not near enough.
It's like 150 to 500 times over 0.2 in the data that's coming in for 2018. If they cut their production today and cut it back enough, it would be immediate. But they are the only producer in the United States, and they say they're not going to cut production.
That figure, 0.2, appears on T-shirts, signs, and comes up in conversations in Laplace all the time.
We're still fighting, and we're going to continue to fight until they bring it down to where it's acceptable.
Mary Hampton has lived in Laplace her whole life, and most of her extended family have also made their homes here. She says they all live in fear every day.
And every time you go to the doctor for a test, you wonder, they're going to find cancer. You know, you get a little bump or something, you wonder, hey, I'm going to keep watching, maybe it's cancer.
Hampton and others haven't been fearful to fight back. Since the 2015 report linking chloroprene and cancer, lawsuits are stacking up against the plant, including a series of class action lawsuits alleging the plant is violating citizens' constitutional right for health and safety.
Corporations aren't people. They only have wallets. They don't have hearts. They don't have compassion. And so the only thing that they pay attention to is a judgment or the possibility of a judgment that hurts their wallet.
Attorney Skip Lambert says a federal judge signed an order remanding their class action case back to state court, which he says gives them a much better chance at getting their case heard. Another class action lawsuit alleges the Denka plant causes residents physical pain, like heart and thyroid problems, respiratory, vomiting, and other issues. Even children, though, are not immune. The families of 20 children and young adults have also filed a wrongful death and negligence lawsuit saying the plant caused illness, birth defects, and cancer within their children. General Russell Honore with the Green Army says lawsuits aren't the only way to fight back.
The bill we're looking at is to have the legislature tell DEQ, when the EPA set a standard, follow it. Should be no exceptions.
The EPA recommends 0.2 micrograms of chloroprene emissions per cubic meter, but it's not the law. Honore says he's been in conversations pushing for both local and state lawmakers to fight for the people, not oil and gas.
The job of the state is to protect the people first, not in Louisiana. The operative word in Louisiana is business come first. Business and jobs, the health of the people come last. That's why we have such poor outcomes and have one of the highest cancer rates in America. That's a crying shame. and that need to be fixed.
Meanwhile, Hampton says she's still scared to go outside, driven inside by something she can't even see.
I love to sit on my front porch. Everybody gathers on the front porch. You can't even do that anymore. You sit there, and by the time you get inside, you're sick. You can't breathe, you're sneezing, you're coughing, and everything. I mean, it's terrible.
Hampton says when she and much of her extended family all decided to move here, it was supposed to be a great start for them.
We want some clean air. I couldn't get $50 for my house right now because I'm living in Cancer Alley. We're fighting for the kids that's coming up. Our grandkids, our great-grandkids. We're fighting for the entire community.
But she says a great start turned into something they can't escape.